between us that I hadn't fully understood until I was 14. As if we could read each other's minds. I always knew what he was thinking, and more often than not, he knew what was going through my head as well. Then he'd kissed me one day, and I'd realized why we were so connected. Maverick Masterson was my soulmate. He was the other half of my heart. The reason I was born was to love him. But as desperately as I wanted to share what was going on with me right then, I couldn't. Not yet. So, instead of telling him what was happening, I pushed the attention to someone else. It's my mom. I think something's up with her. I bit my lip. It wasn't a lie. Mom had been acting weird lately, and I was worried about her. But I'd been so stressed over what was happening to me that I hadn't stopped to really examine what might be going on with her. Maverick's eyes widened. What? Like, she's sick? He practically whispered the last word. I understood why. After Aunt Raven had gone through her cancer treatments, we'd all been terrified that something like that could happen to our own mother. No, I told him, shaking my head. I think... I broke off, not wanting to voice what I really suspected. Tell me, Riv, he commanded. If it's bothering you this badly, I want you to tell me. No secrets, baby. Tears filled my eyes because I was keeping a huge secret from him. But it was better, safer, if he didn't know. I think she might be cheating on my dad. Fuck. He choked out and pulled my head to his chest. For real? I nodded, taking a moment to get my emotions under control before lifting my head. I did think Mom was cheating on Dad. With the shady way she'd been acting recently, there really wasn't any other explanation. She was sneaking around, hiding things, and lying about places she'd been. Just a few days before, she'd been late getting home, and when Dad asked her where she'd been, she'd said she was with Aunt Quinn. He hadn't even questioned what I knew was a lie because I'd been at my aunt and uncle's house. Aunt Quinn had been home all day, but my mother hadn't even stopped by. So where had she really been? The thing about my mom was that I knew she loved my dad. She would kill for him, offer up her own life in exchange for his. But I'd noticed she never fully trusted him. Then again, she'd never seemed to trust any man. I got it, though. Her own father had shot her, had nearly killed her, all because she'd ruined his political career. If a girl couldn't trust her own daddy, how the fuck was she expected to trust any other male? But that didn't give her an excuse to cheat on my dad. He was a good man. He took care of Mom and me, working his ass off for the family-owned bar and the MC to provide for us. Not that we needed to worry about money. When Grandpa Hank, the man who'd stepped in as Mom's surrogate father and my honorary grandfather, had passed away, he'd left all his money and other assets to the two of us. Money wasn't an issue. I never had to work if I didn't want to with just the money from the trust fund Grandpa Hank had set up for me when I was born. Dad was a hard worker, and he'd never once looked at another woman. He loved Mom, worshipped her. All she had to do was bat her lashes at him and he was gone for her, giving her anything she even hinted that she wanted. And while I knew Mom didn't completely trust Dad, I'd never doubted her love and devotion to him in return. Not until now. I honestly didn't want to think she was cheating, but it was the only logical conclusion. Why else would she lie about where she was? Maverick kissed the top of my head. It's going to be okay, baby. Don't worry about your parents. His arms tightened around me. Focus on what you want for your birthday instead. You still haven't told me what you want. Just you. I told him truthfully and tried to burrow myself deeper against him. I only want you for my birthday. I felt more than heard his growl as he tipped my head up and lowered his lips.